Our first guest is Mélissa MANELLI, who, with her charming and powerful communication skills, aims to help others get past their life's struggles and also reconnect with success. Feel free to put your questions on YouTube chat, which shall be answered by Melissa. Now, the floor is all yours, Melissa.
Hey guys, thank you so much. Thank you. I am so happy and so excited to talk to you guys today. To be honest, I didn't know what I was going to talk to you about because there's so many things that I could have tell you today, but I decided just to be really honest and talk to you about my own personal experience. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to explain to you what happened, who I am, and what are my best advice for you to get a job in the industry after your PhD. So give me a second and we're going to do that together. All right. So I'm going to introduce myself. So I'm Mélissa MANELLI. I am French. I've been a consultant, an international consultant for 10 years. During those 10 years, I've been working for different kind of very, very big international companies. I have been a professional trainer, business trainer for 8 years, and I've been in the coaching industry for 4 years now. I worked worldwide with like clients from all around the world. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a single mom of 2 little kids, and I am also a PhD student. So what I still have a little time. I'm trying to complete my PhD, even though I want to change my specialty. I used to do my PhD in psychology, but I want to switch to neurosciences, but that's another subject. So that's me. And I know what you're thinking right now. You're like, oh my gosh, this girl is doing so much thing and that's amazing and stuff. Yeah, kind of, but wasn't always the case. Just to tell you a little bit of my personal life, I went to a very tough divorce a couple of years ago. I became a single mom when my kids were just like as little as you can see them on the picture. And I was overweighted and I was not feeling good about myself. So at some point I decided that I couldn't stay like this. I had to do something, even though I had a great job because I had great skills and stuff, but I just could not stay like this. I knew that I had so much more to bring to the world and I did not want life to decide for me. So what happened is that I had a breakthrough like most people. Life as it used to be was I used to, go out and, when we could go out before COVID-19 and all those things, of course, but I used to go out and I used just to, do after works with my colleagues and all those kind of things. And one day I had an accident that changed everything. And in fact, it's not even just me who had the accident. It was my family. My mom was driving my kids to school because I was trying to go to work and be on time and all those kind of things. And I received a phone call from my mom and she told me, Mel, we had an accident with the kids. Your car is totally broke down, but the kids and I are fine. And I felt guilty. I felt super guilty. I was like, I am trying so hard to just make a great living and provide for my family. And I'm not there. I'm not even there to protect them. So I am doing all those PhD things. I'm working internationally. I'm doing all those great things, but I cannot even protect them. If I were there for them and with them, that wouldn't happen. And this was my breakthrough. So I started to think about what I actually wanted. And I realized that what I wanted, it was just to have a decent life, to make decent money and take care of my family. And all those choices that I made in my life before were more like, I want to be somebody because I did a lot of great studies and I have a PhD. I'm studying for my PhD. So I want to become something, that thing. But what was that thing exactly? And I asked myself, what is my definition of success? What is my definition of, happiness? And I decided to change. So I started to stay at home and I decided that I was going to bring my own value on the market because I realized that I already had a lot of skills that I could offer to people, and that my PhD could be also something that I could use to help and really make a change in people's life. So today, here I am. So I am my own boss. I make very good money. I am super confident because, I changed, I lost weight and do all this thing. I'm super zen in my life. As you can see, I'm talking to you right now. I don't feel like any kind of stress or anything. I have teams all around the world because I develop my business and I provide job opportunities to help people develop their skills using my own skills. And above all, I realize my dreams. It's like I am present for my kids. And that was the most important thing for me. But okay, now enough about me. Now that we're like personal, we're going to talk about you. So why did I decide to do this presentation? Well, it's to help you first to find a job, and also like to help you realize that having a PhD is a good thing. But, it's not all. And we're going to see why and how. Also to make you reflect on what you want in your life and what you want in your career. Because most of the time people say, oh, I am going to do my life on one side and my career on the other side. But guys, this is not how life is done. Life and career goes together, and it's really how you handle both that you're gonna find the balance and find the success and happiness that you've always dreamed about. And also, I decided to do that presentation for you to take action, because I know that in the university world, in the PhD world, we love thinking and talking and blah, blah, but come the hell on. We have to take action. And that's what I want you to do at the end of my presentation. I want you guys to ask me as many questions as you want, as many questions as you can, so that during this day or during this week of presentation that you're going to have, you are going to be willing to actually really take actions for yourself. So what am I going to talk to you about? So it's how to build yourself the life and career that you've always dreamed about. Because having a PhD, for most of you, maybe it's the same reason that you're doing a PhD like me. It's more like this was my parents' dream, to ever have a kid who was doing a PhD. Just for you to know, I was never really about school, but I was always scared to be unemployed. So I told myself very young that if I go to school far enough, I will never, ever be unemployed, which was a lie, because I have been unemployed sometimes, not very long in my life. But definitely it's not because you have great diplomas that you will have to find a job. So that's why I want you to reflect on the life that you want, the career that you want, and really start building for yourself the life and career that you've always dreamed about. So I'm going to give you three keys, the three secrets to actually succeed at life and work. So the three qualities that you should have to go on the job market. We're going to talk about the three keys. Oh, I forgot an S, but that's okay. The three keys element to succeed at life and work, and also the best strategy that I think that you should use to achieve all this. So let's talk first about the three qualities that you should have to go on the job market. Well, I could tell you that you should go within this line of career or this, but I would lie. It doesn't really matter what you're studying right now or what you aim at studying. What really matters, if you want to go on the job market and really actually succeed at it, you have to know yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to face yourself at some point and ask yourself the question, what do I want? Who am I exactly? What kind of person am I? Am I the kind of person who likes to go to work? Am I the kind of person who likes to do researches? Do I like working under pressure? What kind of person am I? This is something that is really important, because if you're just going on the job market expecting that, the perfect job is going to fall in your lap, well, you're lying to yourself, because that's not how it's happening. The job market is a tough place. It's a tough place because there's a lot of people. There are people that were there for years. There are people that have lots of different skills. There's me, and there's you, and there are other also other people that will be coming next year and the years after and after, and we'll all going to be all together on the job market, and it's going to be competition. So it's really important for you to decide from today, like the kind of person that you want to be, and know who you are, and so that you can develop your skills. Because it's great to be a PhD student. It's great. Really, everything that you are studying right now is going to help people. And I know that most of you are doing crazy researches on crazy subjects, and that's amazing. Really, I really salute you for that. I congratulate you for all the work and the efforts that you're putting in your careers right now. But on the job market, I'm not going to say that it doesn't count, but that's a thing. But what really matters are your skills. So you have to develop your skills, not only, intellectual skills, but also professional skills. Like, when you're going to do your resume, or when you're going to introduce you to on the job market, on LinkedIn or other things, or, other platforms, to look for a job. People are not going to be really interested in the kind of research that you made. They're going to be interested in the kind of person that you are and what you can bring to the table. So for example, right now, if you don't know how to make a presentation like this one I'm doing, well, you should learn that, because today, in this new world situation that we're in, we spend most of our days talking, on Zoom session or Jitsi or Teams or whatever. So presentations, are skills that you should have. If you're scared in talking in front of crowds, or you have, communication issue, work on that. Develop your skills. Choose a career for yourself according to the person that you are, and then look for the skills that are required for that career, that specific career that you want to have, and then develop those skills, because that's your skills that you're going to develop, that are going to make your value on the job market. And also the third quality that you should have is you have to have perseverance. You have to persevere. I know that most people don't say that, and I'm an HR specialist. Actually, I did all my studies in HR. So I've studied HR in France, international HR. I've been working on very big international HR projects for big companies, like I said before. And something that most people don't talk about is perseverance. You have to persevere, because it's not going to be easy. It's not. The job market is really highly competitive, and really, jobs are pretty rare today. And really, right now, with this world situation, it's even harder to find a great job. And, as a PhD student, you have an idea of the kind of job that you want, and you maybe have also an idea of the kind of money that you want to make, or at least that you hope to make. But it's not going to happen like that. When I started when I had my first job, my paycheck was 1,200 euro. And I was like, what? Did I went to school for this little? Are you kidding me? And I was like, okay, this is not going to happen to me. And I decided that I was going to take my destiny in my own hands, because if I was just waiting for what the world was going to offer me, I could have stayed with that paycheck for years. And that's also something that you have to understand. You have to know yourself, know your value. Everything that you're studying right now, all your researches, everything that you're doing right now has to have a goal. And this goal is yours, and yours only to define. So that's why once you have that goal, you have to develop the skills that will go with it, and persevere, because it's through perseverance that everything that you want, the career that you want, and the life that you want is going to happen. So now let's talk about the three key elements to succeed at life and at work. Well, something that is really important that you have to understand: no one is coming to save you. I talked to you about my life, my personal life a couple of minutes ago. And as you can see, we all face hardships. I hope that you will never go through a divorce, because it's not a fun part of life to go through. But no matter what kind of hardships, no matter where you are in the world, no matter your social situation, no matter whatever you're going through, no one is going to come to save you. No one. I'm telling you that. I know it might be brutal, but it's a fact. So you have to take responsibility for yourself, for who you are, for your life, for your future, and for your career. And that's why I really want you today, guys, to think about who you are as a person, what makes you the person that you are today, and how being a PhD student right now is going to help you get the life and the career that you want. That is really, really important. Take responsibility for yourself, because companies today, they can offer you job opportunities, but never forget that the job market is highly competitive. And it's not because you get a job today that you're going to keep it for the rest of your life. This doesn't happen anymore. It was like 30 something years back, and it doesn't happen anymore. Now you have to take responsibility for yourself. And the last key element to me that is highly important, and that is actually the key to everything, is your vulnerability. So when I'm talking about vulnerability, I'm not saying that you have to talk about all your problems and start to attract pity for yourself or all those kind of things. No, because vulnerability, what is it? It's simply the fact to accept who you are, as you are, to love yourself for who you are, and have the honesty to decide to live a life according to your rules and being true to yourself and to others. That's vulnerability. Vulnerability is our greatest strength. It's our greatest form of courage. And going on the job market with your vulnerability will make the difference. Really, that is my shield as I went through life, and I'm using it every day. And this is how I connect with my clients, and this is how I connect with my students. This is how I connect in my personal life, using my own vulnerability. I'm not perfect. I am just a person who's trying to make it in life, and who decided that life was not going to determine the person I am, but I am going to take my responsibility with everything that's going to come my way to make the best life possible. And this is what I want you guys to reflect on today. You have great skills. You're very, very highly intelligent people. Because if you're doing PhDs, and I'm doing a PhD, so I know, there's so many things that are required from you. So many. And you have lots of skills, even skills that you might not even know or like consciously, but you have at some point just to sit down in front of yourself. And I think that this COVID period is the best time to do that. Sit down in front of yourself and start thinking, okay, who am I? What do I want? What do I know? And what do I want to contribute in that world? Because you don't get to do a PhD just for yourself. It's because you want to contribute somehow to the bigger picture, to the, to whatever is going to happen to your, field of specialty. You want to contribute in that. So really think about that, using your own vulnerability. And I will never say that enough. I'm going to stress that like all along my presentation. Develop your skills. Your skills are what is going to make the difference. Because, there's a lot of PhD students that are going out every year, every month on the job market. But on the job market, like I said, because it's highly, highly, highly competitive, Your skills are going to make the difference. I've been working for 10 years and look at me. I'm a black woman, I'm a single mom, I'm French. I could use all kind of excuses to be like, oh my gosh, I'll never find a job or whatever. And I had jobs. I had lots of jobs opportunities. But when I saw my first paycheck of 1,200 euro, I was like, hell no. I did not wake up for a year, like for years, to go to school and study like a crazy person to earn this little. But in order to make more money, I also had to develop my skills because that's what people are paying for. Just to give you a real shot of reality, today, most people that I work with and that are very successful, I also work with people who are millionaires. And most of the millionaires I know, they didn't even graduate from high school. I know that might hurts when you're doing a PhD because it hurted me. I'm saying that like very honestly. I was like, damn, how can I come on. But the difference between them and me, they had highly valuable skills. And that's what I want you guys to understand today. Develop your skills. Even maybe that there's some skills that you don't have, but that you wish that you can have. Well, take this time right now during this COVID-19 period when you have to stay at home and you have like to face yourself. Get a list of the skills that are required for you in your career, your dream career, and develop those. It's not going to happen in one day, of course. That's not what I'm saying. But really, develop your skills and decide really to take your destiny in your hand. Because being intelligent is one thing, but being well paid are two different things. And that doesn't always go together because you can be super intelligent, get all the PhDs and post PhDs and whatever, and become like the president of the, I don't know, MIT, whatever you want. But if you don't know how to take your destiny in your own hands, go and look for opportunities, well, you're just going to end up with the same paycheck that I started my career with. Because being well paid doesn't always come with being super intelligent. So this now is your responsibility as PhD student. Because I could have talked to you about, well, you could do a beautiful resume on LinkedIn and blah, blah, and then start talking to HR people. But that would be crap. That would be bullish. Because, I don't want to say bad words, but that would be, just BS. Because that's not how life is done. And that's not how you build the life that you want. And that's not how you build a career that you want. Because having a PhD is great. Being intelligent is incredibly important. But you have to take your destiny in your own hands. So what is the best strategy now? Because I know that you've been like, okay, she's super wonderful and saying a lot of things and blah, blah. That sounds like a motivational video and whatever. But how do we do that? Well, become your own boss. Today, I have one of my clients, which is a very, very big company, and they're hiring people. But now, because of the world situation, the economical situation, they're not highly like recruiting people for permanent jobs. It's only temp jobs. But if you're doing a great job, then they keep you on the long run. And this is how I started to work with them. And I've been working with them for 4 years now. And that's what I want to talk to you about. Become your own boss and bring your own value and expertise to the job market. Why do I say that? Well, because, I don't know what is your line of studying right now, but if you got that expertise, what people are looking for, what companies are looking for today are experts. And it's not because you're an expert, for example, in biology or in neurosciences or in chemistry or whatever, that people are going to run after you. If your dream job, your dream career is to find a great balance between work in life. If you want to get married, if you want to have kids, if you want to, I don't know, put your parents, that they stop working and, retire them and take care of them, or whatever that you want, you can only achieve that being your own boss. And yes, I know what you're thinking right now, but I am going to address your questions and and all your interrogation in a minute. So really, my advice for you is like when you reach, this highly level of intelligence, use your intelligence for good and use your intelligence for yourself to bring value and expertise to the job market, because this is how people are going to look for you, and this is how they're going to pay you for what you're worth. So people are going to respect you if you know your value, if you know your expertise. And this is what you'll have to bring to the market. And really, you'll see it's going to be amazing. So now I know what you've been asking. So all of this is great, but how do we do that? Well, you might think that it's too complicated, that you'll never make it because, all those guys around that people always tell me is like, yeah, but it's already too packed. I don't know. My field of expertise is too precise. I don't know how I can advertise myself. I don't have those skills and blah, blah, blah. Yes, I heard it all. I hear it every day with all my clients. And really, you know what? I'm here to help. There are thousands and millions of people like me who are here to help you. And definitely, we won't have time to cover it all during this hour because I wanted to speak for 30 minutes and get some time for you to ask me the questions. That would be like so much more, but definitely get some help. It's great to be intelligent. And I know that you've got great skills and that you've been working your A off to get that PhD, and you should. And I'm working too on getting my PhD, so I know what you guys are going through. But really, there are people who have that job and who can help you do and get the life that you want. So, like I promised, this is almost the end of what I wanted to tell you. So, like I promised, I got a surprise for you. Oh, well, this is in French. But for the 50 first people that are going to contact me, I am going to give you my special ebook on all the things I wish I'd known before I went to get a job. All the things that I wish I'd known before I, went to get a job. Because when I was a student, if someone would have talked to me the way I'm talking to you right now, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I need to know everything about that person. Because life is great. It's amazing. It is amazing. You can make it amazing, but life is brutal. Life is a battlefield. And if you're not courageous enough to take responsibility for yourself, well, it's going to be hard. But you don't have to do that by yourself because, I'm here and there are thousands and millions of other people that will help you to achieve the life that you want. Also, I am a very busy person, but I love helping people. So if you contact me, I can take some 30 minutes in my schedule to get you a private coaching and really give you some hints about your project and your life and, really get to know you better and give you your strategy that you can apply to actually find a job for yourself on the market with your PhD. And also, I will talk to you about my personal strategy that I have used because I talked to you about my life, but I did not went into detail about everything that happened to me and how I made it work and made it happen for myself. But yeah, during our little coaching session, I will help you do that. I will talk to you about really how that happened for me. So why am I doing that? Because most of the time when I say that, people are like, okay, that's great, but what's your interest in doing all that? Well, I don't have really an interest in doing that, but I decided to do that because it hurts me when I see people that are working and putting everything that they have and not getting the result that they expect. Really, that hurts me a lot because I know what it is to work, to actually work and give everything that you have and not getting the results that you expected. And also because it's my job to help people finding success at life and work. I've been doing that for 10 years and I enjoy doing it. I do it with a lot of passion. And because I studied HR, because I was a consultant, because I still am a consultant, because I'm a coach, and because I just love helping people and like seeing people succeed, well, I want to help you achieve the same level of happiness that I am right now. And also because I think and I deeply believe that everybody deserves to have the best life that they can. So that's why I'm doing that, and that's why I decided to talk to you about those things today. Really, I could have just talk to you about so many different things, and up until last night I wasn't sure about what I was going to talk to you about, but definitely now I think that this was the best thing, because with this new world situation, nobody knows what life is going to be like. All the companies that I'm working with are struggling right now, and they're making big cuts, and no one knows if they are going to have a job. So the best thing really is just to take responsibility for yourself. Become the person that you always want to be. Bring your value, because you have value, guys. You have so much value, like you cannot even imagine. A couple of years ago when I became a single mom, and like I showed you, I was overweight and I was sad, and I thought that I had no value. But when I look back now and I see all the things and all the clients and all the people that I've worked with, I'm so happy that I made that decision for myself. So I really hope that you're going to take action, like I said, and that you're going to make that decision for yourself. Okay. And now I am here to listen to your questions.
Thank you so much for that very, very interesting talk. We learned a lot. I'm sure all of us enjoyed the talk. We have some very interesting questions.
Okay.
The first one that I got was, do you have any tips or tools that can help us to map our skills in a global manner?
Well, there, yes and no. I mean, you just have to be honest with yourself. You just have like to go through all the different experiences that you had in your career, or even not just in your career. Maybe, I don't know, when you were a kid, you went to scout camps. So you learn how to, lead a team or to organize work or do all those kind of things. So these are skills that are highly valuable on the job market. And also there are like lots of questionnaires and all those kind of things on the internet when you're like, oh, what kind of a professional are you and stuff like that. So you can just like go with that to start with, and really just really be honest with yourself. What kind of skills do I have? Like, what kind of skills do I have right now? And what is required for me to develop? And that's it. Your mic is off.
Thank you so much. Okay, so the next question we have, what were the questions that inspired you in your journey?
What were the questions? I was like, oh, there's
What were
only,
the books?
oh, the books. Oh, wow. Oh, the books. Well, I'm a bookworm, so I love books. There's so many, but the first one that I started with was Brene Brown, Daring Greatly. That's the one that actually helped me start my journey. When I became a single mom, I remember I watched her TED talk, and I bought her book. I read it like in 2 days. And when I closed it, I was like, okay, I'm on it. I'm going. Whatever's going to happen, I am going to make it for myself. And then I started to read all kinds of books. Obviously, I decided to go into entrepreneurship because that's what I help people do. And so there's a lot of books like, Think and Grow Rich, The Secret, Choose Yourself, the subtle art of not giving up. I cannot say that word because, all those kind of books that really like highly motivated. Also because I'm doing my PhD in psychology, on emotions. I read a lot of research from other PhD fellows. Right now, I'm reading a book called "The Brain That Changed Itself." So I'm really into those kind of things because now I want to switch. I want to go in in neurosciences. So I'm just reading a lot of all kinds of books. So
Okay, thank you. Now there's another interesting question, which befuddle a lot of people. For the first job, how to get the quantity and justify the salary that you want? It's an important one, and it's a question that almost every interviewer asks.
yes, well, there's two sides to this question. The first one would be, well, you can't. You can't. You will get what they want to offer you. Full stop. You will get what they want to offer you. But if you know your value and if you know how to sell yourself enough and to justify your skills, this is when you can actually justify the money that you'll be asking. When I started as my first job, I was a headhunter. So I was working for a private British company, and I was supposed to hire very high skill level professionals for them, and I was paid 1,200. That was nothing. I just graduated from my MBA in Sweden, and I was like, come the hell on. I've studied like a crazy person, and look what I am worth. And I knew I wasn't worth that. I knew I was worth way more. And it's the day that I decided that I was not going to take for granted what they offer me, that my life actually switched. So that's what I would say.
Okay, that is very, very knowledgeable. Now, the next question we have is, how do we demonstrate that a PhD has value? What exactly should we put in our CVs?
Well, that's a very good thing. Like I've said and like I've been saying, I decided to go to work before getting my PhD because I knew I always wanted to do a PhD because my parents, my grandfather has that dream of having one of his grandkids getting a PhD in France, blah, blah, blah. So I always knew that I was going to do a PhD, but also I was very aware of the job market. And I knew that it was only the skills that you have that is going to make the difference. Honestly, your PhD has no value. You have to know that. I know that for a PhD student, it's kind of proud to say, yeah, I have a PhD, blah, blah, blah. Look at me. Bullish, BS. No one cares about that. A PhD is just another diploma. You're doing a PhD for yourself. You're not doing a PhD to get money out of it. And it's just the same as any other diplomas. But if you want your PhD to have value, you have to have skills that will, emphasize the importance of your PhD. Like, for example, if I take my example, I started to work first and now I'm doing my PhD. Now, when I work with people, they know that the money I'm asking to them is worth because I have all the experience that I have and also because I have a PhD. So I know what I'm talking about. And that's why people respect that. You cannot justify your PhD. You cannot do that. But you can only make people understand what you're talking about because you have a PhD, because you're an expert in what you do. That's the only thing that you can do.
Thank you. Okay, the next question is something that we all want to know. Is getting into industry hard? A lot of people after PhD tend to go towards postdoc and then keep doing a lot of postdocs henceforth. So is getting into industry really hard, and why?
Yes, it is. Life is hard. Yes, it is. Like I said, like the job market, the industry, however you want to call it, it's hard. Everybody's there. Your parents are there because they got a job. I am there. You're going to be my competition. I am going to be your competition. And have you seen me? I'm not going to let you get the job that I want. I'm fierce, honey. I'm fierce. You're not getting that job if I'm here. So yes, it's hard because there are like thousands and millions of other people like me. If you don't trust yourself, if you're not confident enough, if you are just waiting for life to happen and people to come and find you, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. You know, I have a little cousin who is very intelligent. He went to business school, did a lot of things and stuff, but he has a fear. Like he has an ego problem. He's like, oh, I did too many studies. I don't want to have to ask for a job. They're going to come for me. Well, now it's been 6 years that he's just at home sitting and with no job. I'm like, okay, you can have diplomas, but do you know how many people in the world have the same diplomas as you have? So yes, it's tough. The job market is tough. Getting in the industry is tough. You have to get your own value. It's really your responsibility to do it all.
Okay, thank you. And we see that you're just teeming with confidence. So one of the viewer just asked, how do you manage failure and still stay confident?
Well, because I accepted that I was not perfect. This is like what I was talking about, is like connecting to my vulnerability. I am I'm a perfectionist. I'm the kind of person, I used to be the kind of person that I cannot fail. Failing was not an option for me. And when I used to fail, I used to go crazy and freaking out. But the day I connected to myself and I was like, okay, Mel, you're awesome, but you're not perfect. There's a lot of things that I don't know how to do. And I don't really want to know how to do, but I'm great at what I do. And I learn how to develop my skills and master my own skills and my expertise. And so that's why I'm confident. If you ask me like, Mel, go and do some math, or I'll be like, hell no, because I don't know how to do that. If I have to do biology or chemistry or what, that's not my thing. So I won't be confident going through that. But in my field, in what I know, I'm confident because I know that I've given and putting on the work, and I have my expertise, and that's why I'm confident. So when I fail, I'm like, oh, that sucked. Yes, it's hard, but you know what? I am just gonna do it over again, because the greatest quality of every person is just to stand up every time that you knock the floor. Just stand up again and go back to it. It's gonna be okay, really.
Okay, that was very inspiring. Now, the most important question that's going to be looming large for probably a few more months to come is COVID. And post COVID, a lot of people have been wondering whether they should do a lot of more academics and increase their skills to work, or should they just plunge into the world of jobs and just try to get a job despite there being very less availability of job at the moment.
Stop going to school, guys. It's time to go to work. Stop going to school. You're not going to go to school up until you're 40. What the heck? People need work. People need other people to be working. You need experience, because you can go on studying and studying, and unless you want to be a philosopher, okay, I don't know. Unless you want to do that, maybe that's what you can do, to spend your days, drinking wine and thinking about weird stuff and writing books or whatever. But if you're not into that thing, go to work. Go to work. Get the experience, because you can have a PhD. That's okay. But if you don't have the skills, if you don't have the experience, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. So stop being a coward. Stop saying like, oh, maybe because of COVID, I'm just gonna go and get some more studies. Oh, come on. You already know too many things, and nobody's gonna pay you for that. Unless, like I said, you become your own boss, that you work on yourself, and that you decide to bring your value and your expertise on the market. Because as highly competitive as the market is, companies are looking for people with experience and expertise. Companies are willing to pay tons of money. And I know what I'm talking about. Tons of money just to get your experience and your expertise on certain subjects. So if you know how to navigate through that, you're going to have an amazing life. I promise you that.
Okay, thank you very much. So the next question is that we are all trying to look for jobs at some time or the other, but where do you look for the jobs and how to look for the jobs?
Can you repeat that? Because I don't understand the question.
So a lot of people say that we can look for jobs either on LinkedIn or some advertisement, go to company pages, or so that's one way. So my question was where to look for job if there are other avenues, and then if you do and find a job, how to what are the specific areas that you should target?
There's no specific areas. There's no specific way of finding a job. Networking. Network, guys. Everybody knows someone. Everybody have parents or have friends who know someone who knows someone. My first job, I found it on the internet when I was still a student. I found just a job on the job board. I applied and they took me. But it's not that I did not like it. It was just a job, It was just to pay for my new life in Paris as a newly, fresh diploma, get my fresh diploma and all those things. You have to network. If you want to find jobs, network, look online, whatever. And nobody asks you to find a job which requires you to have highly skills. Start from the bottom. We all started from the bottom. I started from the bottom. I did not make any great money. But now, every day, like now in a day, I make what people make in 3 months. Why? Because I accepted to start from the bottom. So start from the bottom, look for little jobs, look for even jobs that will train you. That's what I do when I recruit people, when I offer job opportunities to people. I don't require them to have any kind of experience. I train them. I train them in their mind with their skills. We develop skills, and then I'm like, okay, now you have all the skill set that you need to succeed at that job. Now it's your turn. Show me what you're capable of. And that's what you have to go with, Just have your faith, persevere, takes responsibility, and accept to start from rock bottom. And everything's going to be all right.
Okay, thank you so much. We have another question. Uh, it is common to find the introvert and centered type personality in academia. How to stay true to yourself?
I don't understand the question.
Well, I think what the person is trying to ask is probably maybe there might be something that the person wants to do and something that the person expected to do, and how to manage and stay true to yourself.
Well, like I said during the presentation, you have to know yourself. You have to have a real conversation with yourself. Like right now you're seeing me, you're like, oh my gosh, she's fired up and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I used to be a very shy kid. I used not like to talk to people and stuff like that. People see me all the time. I'm like, woo! Yes, but I like to stay quiet. I like to take my book. I like to, do things on my own and stuff. But at some point, you have to know what you want. And I had a very clear idea of the person that I wanted to be, of the type of professional that I wanted to be. And like I said, you have to know yourself, you have to accept yourself and connect yourself with your vulnerability. If you don't do that, you're going to transform yourself into something that you think that people expect from you. When I work with my people, when my clients comes to me and finally they're like, Melissa, we want to work with you. They know I am like all crazy. I sing, I dance, I wear colors and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to do this and this and this and this. And they know and they respect it because I am fully myself, because I assume and accepted who I am. So if you go out in this world just thinking, oh, maybe people want me to be, oh, come on, stop it. We only have one life. One. It's not two, three, one. So if you want to live your life pretending that you're someone that you're not, that's your business. But honestly, I love being myself. And that's what you should also like, being yourself and being true to yourself, no matter what you do, work or life. Your mic is off.
Thank you. Very well put. Um, Often we start learning new skills. Usually we get demotivated after some time or are unable to keep a balance between learning a new skill and doing the main research work. So this person asked, how do we keep ourselves motivated?
Well, you're motivated by the things that you like. You know, when I hear people saying, oh, yeah, I started to do that, and then after that I stopped because I was not motivated. When I, like, in what you just said, is like, oh, yeah, I don't have time to balance between, developing new skills and the research work. Oh, come on. I am a single mom of two kids. I'm a PhD student, I'm a teacher, I teach in business schools, and I run a company of more than 80 people all around the world. Okay? So if I can do that, you can definitely do it. I am no special Wonder Woman girl. No, but I know what I want. And as soon as you know what you want and you're clear with yourself and you make the decision that no matter what is going to happen, I'm going to show up for myself, not for other people, for myself. Even if there are things that demotivated you, sometimes I don't have the motivation. I don't have the motivation every day to do what I'm supposed to do, but I remember my goal. I remember what I want. And I'm like, I went too far. I'm already too far to just give it up now. I'm already too far. So I'm just keep on doing the good work. And I know it's going to happen. And there are three things that you can do to stay motivated. The first one, set your goal. Set a goal and like write it down on your wall or whatever, on your phone, wherever, everywhere, put it everywhere and remind yourself of that. The second thing is, if you're tired, rest, but don't quit. Rest. Don't quit. Just rest. Take days off of yourself, of your life, and then come back. Do some sport. Go out or not, because now we can't. But just change your mind a little bit, and then come back stronger than ever. And the third one is, you have to believe. You have to have faith that's going to happen for you. If you don't, nothing is going to happen. If I stayed in the way of thinking that I had when I got a divorce and I became a single mom and I was overweighted, I thought that I was useless. I was worthless. I thought that I couldn't do anything, that no one was ever going to pay attention to me. Look at me today. I'm rocking it and I keep rocking it. And that's just the beginning of my career. So you have to have a goal and put everything that you are to achieve that goal.
Okay, thank you so much. I cannot express how interesting this talk was, And there are a lot of more questions, but I guess that will never end. But one most prominent question right now seems is, how do people contact you? So if there are more questions, how do they contact you?
Well, like you saw in my presentation, I'm on all social media. You can find me on LinkedIn, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram. So don't hesitate, get contact with me, and I would love to have a conversation with you guys.
Thank you so much for lending your precious time.
No problem.
And I would like to remind everyone that stay tuned. There is a next session that is going to come up at 1 p.m. on startups, and it's going to be equally interesting. And we look forward to seeing you guys there. Thank you.
Thank you
See you,
guys.
Melissa. Thank you so much.
Bye.